So good evening to all of you. So I'm Dimuthu Suranjana, fellow member of CSE Lanka. So today I'm going to discuss the mock exams you did, I think, a few days ago. I hope everyone can listen me.
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear.
Okay, right. Thank you. Right. Sorry for the delay start. So, first of all, we'll look at about the paper. So after that, we'll have the discussions on the answer. Right. Right. If you look at about the paper, you are aware the paper structure. So normally, the paper consists of two main sections, section 1, then section 2. Section 1 include 2 questions. Each question carry 25 marks. Then section 2 include 1 questions. It is based on a pre-scene. It is based on a pre-scene. Then in the exam, you will be given some additional information as unseen part. So by combining both informations, pre-scene plus unseen, you have to answer the question number 3. I'm not going to talk much on question number 3 now. Later, when I come to the questions, I will speak more on that. So at the beginning, it has been mentioned about these 2 sections, section 1 and section 2. And these are closed book examinations. The language is English. Right. So section 1, already you are aware that this carry 25 marks. And 25 marks. Right. So we look at about the requirement first. If you look at about the requirement A, it say briefly explain how the product lifecycle model can be used to analyze the current product portfolio of Pharma Lanka. So this tests your knowledge on PLC concepts. That's the first thing. So theory should be applicable to given scenario, and you should be able to identify the different stages of the product portfolio. Right. So if I ask a question from you, so when you are going to answer for questions, from where we are going to start that? Can someone help me on that particular matter? When you are going to answer for questions, from where we are going to start our answering? Maybe message. You can send a message. Yes, from reading the questions first. Yes, within the questions, what is the main focus you should give first? Yes, action verb. So very important one. So you have to read the action verb very carefully and understand the requirement. That is very important point. Now here the action verb given is explained. Don't write. Pardon me, right? Sometime I may have cough. So I'm recovering from the COVID-19. And still, it is 10 days. That's the reasons. Right. So we look at about this, the meaning of action verb. Explain, make a clear descriptions in detail, revealing relevant facts. Relevant facts. So make a clear description in detail, revealing relevant facts. So you have to explain the things in details. While you are doing that one, you want to come up with the respective points. Right? Revealing, disclosing the relevant facts. Right? So that's the meaning of the explained word. Right. Now, guys, so doing these mock exams are really important, guys. So oftenly students do a mistake. The mistake the students do is they directly go for the exam without proper factories. I think we have to appreciate the work done by CA to conduct this mock exam. So within the mock actually, you may have come across some of the mistakes, weaknesses. Have you submit the paper to CA Sri Lanka? Are they going to mark it? Aruna, are you going to mark it? Or so what is the...
No, sir, we will only discuss. We only discuss.
Right. Okay. So, right, if so answer is with the students.
No, sir, we will share that tomorrow because today we are conducting discussion. No?
Right. Okay. Right. So it's very important for you to understand your mistakes. Right. So you will have a second chance. No, then you can correct your mistakes. So doing mock is very important. A very good example. I did CIMA recently actually. Can you guess how many mock exams I have done? I have done, you will not believe, I have done 9 mock exams, guys. Right, 9 mock exams. Then the 10th one was the paper ID. Right? So then you can get an idea why I did so 9 mocks, because I know the importance of doing mocks that will give you a better experience for you. You can identify your weaknesses. It's fantastic if someone is marking your papers. Right, so CA will share the papers. So we'll see some of the mistakes if we have time tomorrow. Right, so that's a very important point. Right, so you should not repeat the same mistakes again, guys. Right. Okay. Now here, the requirement is briefly explain how the PLC model can be used to analyze the current product portfolio of Pharma Lanka. So now the questions test your knowledge on PLC concepts. So we'll go to the facts given and try to understand the facts given. So now it say Pharma Lanka is a medium-sized pharmaceutical company it is based in Sri Lanka, but distribute and sell its products worldwide. In common with other pharmaceutical companies, Pharmalanka has a large number of products in its portfolio. Through most of these are still being developed. Now look at that introduction para. Normally in a case study questions, the few sentences, sometimes what I have seen is even the first para is allocated to give an introduction about the organization and their products. Right? Here, it gives an introduction for you. Pharmalanka is a medium-sized pharmaceutical company. It says a medium-sized pharmaceutical company. It is based in Sri Lanka, but distribute and sell its product worldwide. So we are a company. So our main operations are carried out from Sri Lanka, but we are selling product in different countries. In common with other pharmaceutical companies, Pharmalanka has a large number of products in its portfolio. So, in common with other pharmaceutical companies, Pharmalanka has a large number of products in its portfolio. So, compared to other companies, this Pharmalanka is having so many products. Though most of these are still being still we are working with research and we are working with research and development. Still we are developing some of the products. The success rate of new drug is very low, as most fail to complete clinical trial or are believed to be uneconomical to launch. If you look at about this research and development, so most of them are not into reality. So they fail in between. However, the reward to be gained from a successful new drugs are so great. The reward to be gained from a successful new drug are so great that it's only necessary to have a few successful drugs on the market to be very profitable. But if you go all these hardship and if you were able to launch one successful new product, so that will give a lot of profit for you. So that's the introduction. So very low possibility to get fine from the introductions when you are answering for the questions. I will show you, if you look at about all these 4 parts, I don't think you want to worry about this para much, right? So at present, Pharmalanka has 200 drugs at various stages of development, being tested to undergoing clinical trial prior to a decision being made whether to launch the drug. At present, Pharmalanka has 200 drugs at various stages of development. 200 drugs are in research and development. Right. So Pharmalanka has only 3 products that are actually on the market. Only 3 products we have are in the market. Right. So Epsilon is a drug used in the treatment of heart disease. It has been available for 8 months and has achieved significant success. Sales of this drug are not expected to increase from their current level. So that is a product which is in the market. And so they have achieved tremendous success in the past 8 months. But the future, we think that there will be no room for this one. The constant sales can be expected. Then alpha is a painkiller. It was launched more than 10 years ago. Alpha is a painkiller. It was launched more than 10 years ago. That's been experienced products, no? And has become one of the leading drugs in its class. In a few months, the patent on this drug will expire and other manufacturers will be allowed to produce generic copies of it. Alpha is expected to survive a further 12 months after it loses its patent and will then be withdrawn. This was in the market for more than 10 years. The patent right will expire within short period of month. This short period of time actually. Right? Then beta is used in the hospital treatment of serious infection. It is a very specialized drug and cannot be obtained from a doctor or pharmacist for use outside the hospital environment. It was launched only 3 months ago and has yet to generate significant sales volume. Directors of the Pharmalanka meet every month to review the product portfolio to discuss possible investment opportunities. Beta is used in the hospital treatment of serious infection. It is a very specialized drug and cannot be obtained from a doctor or pharmacist for use outside the hospital environment. You can't get that one outside the hospital environment. It was launched only 3 months ago. Very recently, this has been launched. Has yet to generate significant sale volume. That means maybe at the initial stage. Directors of Pharmalanka meet every month to review the product portfolio to discuss possible investment opportunities. Right. So that is all about the products. I think you can answer from those three, I think. Nimal Lakshman is the CEO of Pharmalanka company. He's having a good reputation in the pharmaceutical industry and having more than 25 years of industry experience and personally acting as the president of Pharmaceutical Society of Sri Lanka. Who is this Nimal Lakshman? He is the CEO, no? Now, they're trying to explain the leadership style of the CEO. So, Nimal Lakshman is the CEO of Pharmalanka company and he's having very good reputation, no, in the industry and have more than 25 years of experience, industry experience and personally acting as the president of Pharmaceutical Society of Sri Lanka. He started his career as sales rep at Pharmalanka and rise to CEO positions after holding different positions in the company. So he has become a CEO, right? So initially he was having a career with the same organizations. Maybe start the career from the ground level, right? It's given no sales rep in the ground level, no lowest level. And after so many years, he has become the CEO. He's a leader who always prefer to make changes in the company and encourage new initiatives from its subordinate. Someone who encourage new things. He's applying an open door policy where any employee can meet him and present their problems. Good from employee perspective, anyone can come and present their problems. He always encourage subordinate to make decisions. At Pharmalanka, jobs and responsibilities are clearly defined for employees and governed through clearly defined rules, policies, and procedures. So maybe this organizational culture may be tested. Right. Nimal Lakshman recently participated at a training. The leadership may have been tested, culture may have been tested. When you read, you can tell it actually. Nimal Lakshman recently participated in a training workshop on Blue Ocean strategy, and he is interested to implement Blue Ocean strategy at Pharmalanka. So definitely there may be a question from the Blue Ocean also. Already we have identified the 4 requirements. You see culture, part B, C leadership, 4th one, Blue Ocean or Red Oceans. So when you read the facts, actually you can guess what is going to be tested by the examiner. Right. So we'll start our discussion on the part A. Now, look at our product life cycle concepts. It is in what chapter, guys? Can someone help me? PLC is in what chapter, guys? This is second. Yes, no, second. So we'll look at our theory aspects. This is the product life cycle. Now, so if you look at about the product life cycle as a concepts, so what is covered from the PLC concepts? So like human beings, no, product also have limited lifetime. So here under the product life cycle concept, we are trying to identify distinct stages of the product life. Distinct stages of the product life. When you are trying to identify the distinct stages of the product life, we look at about the behavior of the sales. Accordingly, we identify different stages. So normally, you can identify 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. So 4 stages: introductions, growth, maturity, and decline. Right. If you want, you can identify a 5th one also. They look like this. Here you can find the 5th one. That is research and development. Research and development. Right. So that's the 5th stage. If you want to, you can identify. Now, if you look at about the questions, what do you think of epsilon? What is the stage? Already in the market, no? Now, what is expected is this is the market for so long. Not expect to increase from their current level. That means started to plateau. Is same level. So it peak and continue in the same level. So normally, so that's a feature of was stage. So if you remember, if you remind your theories, introductions, is that introductions, grow, maturity or decline? Normally sales peak and first stage. Yes. So normally sales peak at the mature stage. So epsilon should be in the mature stage. That is just a guessing. We'll check with the examiner answer later. Then alpha, it should be also 10 years ago. Right? It's very experienced product in the market and has become one of the leading drugs in its class. Has become one of the leading drugs in its class. In a few months, the patent on this drug will expire. Patent on this drug will expire. And others also allowed to produce it. So that means probably will experience decline stage after some time, very soon actually. So not decline, I think. At the moment, this is not decline. What do you think? Is that decline or maturity? Is decline or maturity? So decline mean, so your sales started to come down. Still, sales has not come down, no? Right? So therefore, I still think this is in the mature stage. This is also in the mature stage. We'll check whether my point is correct later. So beta is used in the hospital treatment of serious infection. It is a very specialized drugs and cannot be obtained from a doctor or pharmacist for use outside the hospital environment. Just launched, no? It was launched only 3 months ago and has yet to generate a significant sales volume. So we have just launched the products. So still we are not experiencing high sales. Well, either induction or growth stage. This beta. Can someone let me know that? Introductions or growth stage. Still in inductions, no? We clearly mentioned that there is no high sales growth actually. So therefore, they can't be in the growth stage. They should be in the introductory stage. Then there are 200 drugs at the very stage of development, research and development. So it should be in research and development. These 200 drugs. Even one can argue beta still in the research and development. Why? So here see this sentence. The directors of Pharma Lanka meet every month to review the product portfolio and discuss possible investment opportunities. Right. So maybe the adjustment may be done just only a trial basis. We are using the products, still not launch to the bigger market. So based on that one can argue this is still in the research and development. So it's clearly mentioned, cannot be obtained from a doctor or pharmacist. That means not in the mass market, just available only in the hospital. So maybe for testing purpose, we have distributed to the hospital, right? It depends on your justifications actually. Right. So shall we look at what examiners say on this? So development 200 drugs, no, we also identify that part. Epsilon, we identify maturity, no. Epsilon also, epsilon maturity. So don't worry about the early maturity or later maturity. You can just say maturity, right? Alpha also maturity, no? Yes, no, we identify that is in the maturity. No, beta is all introductions. No? Already introductions. Correct, no? Epsilon alpha maturity, beta introductions, and development 200 drugs. So it's not a difficult one. So based on the features, I think you can identify what is their real stage, right? So any questions from your end? So I'm willing to answer. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Any argument? Right. Then we move to the next. Part B. Evaluate the culture exit and Pavalanka as per the Handy's classification of organizational culture. So handy. Do you remember handy? So that was in HR, no? People's and value creations. How many cultures handy has identified? Can someone help me? Power culture, role culture. Here you can see power culture, role culture, task culture, person culture. So handy has identified 4 different cultures organization can have. Right? So now if you look at about these questions, its requirement is evaluate the culture exit at Pharmalanka as per Handy's classification of organizational culture. Now we have to look at about what are the features given here regarding the organizational culture. Right? You look at about the features given here. So encourage subordinate to make decisions, that means delegation of authority. Then job and responsibility are clearly defined. And organizational activities are governed through clearly defined rule, policies, and procedures. Clearly defined rule, policies, and procedures. Now, from those points, you can identify what is the real culture this organization is having. So, can someone let me know based on these characteristics, in what type of organization we have clearly defined rule, policies, and procedures, and job and responsibilities are clearly defined, and employees have clearly defined job descriptions, authority is delegated, so employees are empowered to take decisions. So if you look at this, is this role culture? Or is it task culture? Task or role? This is not a characteristic of our culture. No? In our culture, one person is dominating. No? So we don't have culture, right? Features like this. We have to find the answer from either role culture or other one is task culture. What do you think? Can someone help me on this? Yes, one say role culture. We'll see what are the features of role culture. Look at features of role culture. Authority for decision making delegated. Delegate to individuals who have a particular role and position in the organization. Jobs and responsibilities are clearly defined. Then individuals are expected to comply with formal rules and procedures. All these three features are there. So now, since all these three features are available, so we can conclude that this is role culture, right? So look at the way this exhibit has developed the answer. So first of all, tell about the four cultures available. Define the, right, the four cultures in very summary form. These are another things that you have to look at, guys. So when you are developing an answer, what should be the approach? So normally the approach is theory plus application, no? Theory plus applications. So theory should be in a very short, theory should be present in very short. Application is the key, right? So now in the first part, so examiner talk about the theory. Examiner talk about the theory, right? The second part, applications. We just introduced the four cultures of the handy. Then come to the facts given and say this is role culture. Why you say role culture? You say authoritative decision making is delegated. See, delegated. Jobs and responsibilities are clearly defined. Then individuals are expected to comply with formal rules and procedures. So extracted from the facts given, and based on that one, you say this is role culture, right? So any questions from that? Right. Then the part C. So evaluate the leadership style demonstrated by Nimal use the 4 I's of transformation leaders. That tests the knowledge of leaderships. This is a very important area. Why? So this leadership is a critical one. If you look at the name of your subject. So what is the name of your subject? Strategic management and leaderships. Then you can get an idea about the importance of leaderships here, right? So you have to do more weight on this. Now, if we look at about the theory here, they talk about transformation leaderships. Who is a transformation leader? Someone who identify the requirement in the future and introduce changes in the organization to ready for the future requirement. It's a futuristic leader. So there are 4 I's. Idealize influence, individualize considerations, inspiration motivations, intellectual stimulations. So idealize influence means the leader acts as an ideal role model for others to follow. It's an ideal role model. Now, if you look at our facts given here, this guy started the career as a sales rep, no? And then went to the up in the ladder hierarchy and became the CEO. So he's a really a good role model for others. He can tell about his story to others. Others can get lots from him. He's the ideal role model for them. Right? Then inspiration, motivation. The leader can inspire and motivate followers. Anything is there? I think very low point, but I think practically he can do that. So he can motivate the people. So individual considerations. His leader is giving individual attentions. Here it was mentioned that open door policy. Somewhere it was mentioned open door policy was a plan. Here see. So that means you do individual considerations to each one requirement. Right. Then introduce simulations. Initiatives, I think it was mentioned. No, initiatives taken by the organizations. It was mentioned somewhere else. Here it is mentioned. See. He is a leader who always prefer to make changes in the company and encourage new initiative from his subordinates. Encourage new initiative from his subordinates. So he is having that characteristic also. Intellectual stimulations. So we'll see Penna's answer. See this in ideal influence. He is a ideal example. No? So he has become a CEO by working hard. Initially, he was a sales rep. Inspiration motivations. He can motivate the people. So no, there are no specific example. Individualized considerations. So open door policy. That means you give attention to each one requirement. Grievances. Intellectual stimulations. So you ask your followers to become creative and innovative. Right, and make new initiatives. So that point also there. Right. So any questions? So next one is theory actually. Contrast the difference between blue ocean and red oceans. Blue ocean is a new market to complete an existing market. Blue ocean. Under the blue ocean strategy, we are trying to compete in the existing market or in a new market. It's a new market, no? It's a new market strategy. Red ocean means you try to compete in the existing marketplace. No? Under the blue ocean, competition is irrelevant, but red ocean's competition is applied. Blue oceans is based on the innovation concepts. Red ocean based on the existing product concepts. So blue oceans competition is not applicable since you are introducing new product to the market. Untouched market is being served. Red oceans, so you are going to compete in the existing marketplace, similar to market penetration strategy. It's a theory actually. You can handle that part. You can handle right? So very easily you can handle that part. Right. So any questions before moving to question number 2? Right. So then we can move to question number 2. Now, if you look at the requirement here, first one is you have to identify 3 internal factors that can be considered as strength in relation to these new product introductions. They are going for a new product introductions. So strength, so it tests your knowledge of SWOT analysis. You have identified 3 strengths. Then we design a strategic vision and mission statement for UCSL by highlighting the characteristics of vision and mission statement. Right. Characteristic of vision and mission, your knowledge of that is tested. Explain the meaning of each of the principal constitution component of the possible commercial mix the company can adopt in the process of implementing its marketing plan. That is promotional mix. Advertising, sales promotions, public relations, direct marketing, those are the part of the promotional mix. No? The final one is asking you to explain the concept of economic of scales. Whether it is applicable to new hybrid car venture of UCSL. This is something strange questions, no? Economic of scale. Right, but the mark allocation is very limited. Only 4 marks have been given. Right? So we'll go through the facts given here. Unique car sales limited have been in the business of importing and selling cars for Japan through some contacts of Japanese dealers that the owner Sujan developed while working in Japan as a skill mechanic. He's importing cars from Japan. So he was staying in Japan some time ago. So during that time, he was able to develop some contact. Through that, he imported the cars. The company mostly affect their sales from the 2 modern air conditioner showroom in Colombo and Kandy. So mostly their sales come from Colombo and Kandy. Because of his intimate knowledge, that good relationship, right? Intimate knowledge on Japanese vehicle and technological insight, people usually consider the vehicle imported and sold by UCSL as reliable. Due to his knowledge, normally they consider UCSL as a reliable source. And he has developed a loyal customer base who reportedly buy vehicle from UCS where they need changing their existing vehicle. Now, if you look at about these points, are there any strength we can identify? He said it's not relationship with Japanese people. A loyal customer base and develop some relationship with Japanese people. Those are strength actually. Right? Because of intense competition in the import car market, Sujan has been contemplating some time when eventually decide he will enter the electrical vehicle market. He want to go to a new marketplace, that is electrical vehicle market. The study will help him to capitalize opportunity in the market. For an example, within interim budget August 2022, it has stated that as per policy, electric power vehicles will be purchased for the use of the public sector in the future. That have been mentioned if you remember the budget. This interim budget presented in October 2022. Right, government mentioned that only electrical vehicle will be purchased for public sector use. And the private sector will also be encouraged to use electrical vehicles. Before formally entering this market, one of his friends in the banking circle advised him to comply a marketing plan that will help him to manage this venture in a more methodical manner. Sujan want to come up with a good vision and mission statement for UCSL since they are going to change the direction of the company by introducing electronic cars. So first part is 3 internal factors. I found only 2, no? This one is contact of Japanese dealers. That's the strength. This his intimate knowledge on Japanese vehicle. Technical insight. That's another strength, no? You can identify. Then having a loyal customer base is another strength. Are there any other strength you can identify? The exam asks you to identify 3. So we'll see what are the strength by the exam. Loyal customers of UCSL, technical reputation of the owner. Yes, now we get that intimate knowledge on Japanese vehicle. That point actually. Technical reputation of the owner, Japanese sourcing contact. Same 3.95, Japanese sourcing contacts. Have I identified the same in the exam, guys? Have I identified the same in the exam? No. It's easy. Strengths. Only 3 sent to be identified. Right. What is the part B? So design a strategic vision and mission statement for UCSL by highlighting the characteristics of vision and mission statement. A vision is what is a vision? Ultimate goal of an organization. That is the big picture. Missions. Mission explain your current activities. It is present oriented. Vision is future oriented. So you have to come up with a vision and mission for these organizations. Vision may be future oriented, maybe right. So to become the Sri Lankan #1 car company, import car company in Sri Lanka. Mission, you can explain current activities. So while you are doing this one, you want to present the characteristic of vision and mission. I already explained few examples. Vision is future oriented, mission is present oriented. Vision is foresight, define the foresight or foresee the future. Then vision is something that should not be changed except improve. Vision is something to be discovered. You have to explore yourself and find your visions. No? Discover it. Vision never change, act as an enduring promise. So mission, on the other hand, deal with the present and answer 3 questions: who we are, what we do, where we are now. 3 questions related to the present. And it is normally should be specific, not generic. You have to clearly say what is the current activity you are involved. And on the other hand, values and culture is part of a mission, no? Right. Right. See, these points in the study pack also. Right. If you go to theory. So look at the visions. You may not come up with the same visions. It's not practical. You have to come up with the similar visions. Create the one of most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the Sri Lanka's transition electronic vehicle. So it is mentioned that electrical vehicle store, So by doing this, you will become the best compelling car company of the 21st century. The characteristics is given. Then missions example. So what is the example given? To accelerate the advent of sustainable transport by bringing compelling mass market electric cars to market as soon as possible, ensuring the highest level of customer satisfaction, delivered with care, friendliness through dedicated, happy employees. A little bit extended one, no? Address some stakeholders also. One of this customer is one stakeholder address. Then address employees also. Two stakeholders have been addressed to the mission statement. If you go to Bank of Ceylon mission statement, for example, four group have been addressed, four stakeholders have been addressed. Commercial, four stakeholders. People's Bank, four stakeholders have been addressed with the mission statement. Now here they have addressed two stakeholder group, right? To accelerate the advent of sustainable transport. So accelerate mean increase, no? Intensify, right? So transport bringing compelling mass market electric cars to market. So we at the moment we are trying to do that one as soon as possible, ensuring the highest level of customer satisfactions, delivered with care, friendly line through dedicated happy employees. Any questions from that? So I have been given limited time, so I will try to finish off within that time given. I think tomorrow we are going to discuss this pre-scene. Pre-scene, you can join in tomorrow session also. Right. Then part C is theory actually. So you have to explain the promotional mix of the company. So what are the things we can do? So when you're introducing this our marketing plan to the market, right? So if you look at about this, advertising is one option. You can advertise in some media like TV, the personal selling. So because this high value item, personal selling may be ideal for this one. It's not something actually customer just go and buy it. So do a careful evaluations. So personal selling is very important here. Public relations. So you have to develop a broader relationship with different parties, right? For example, CSR activity, you have to spend money on CSR. Through that, you have to develop good relationships. Sales promotions. Even you can do a short-term incentive for customer to buy vehicles, right? So some sales promotion, for example, we say December month, 50,000 reductions, price reductions in car pricing, right? Right. So that can be addressed actually. That's not a difficult one. So requirement D, briefly explain what you understand by the concept of economic of scales and whether this concept is relevant for the new hybrid car venture UCSL. But economic of scales. So achieving some cost advantages, no, by operating at a higher capacity level. No? So economic of scale is normally deal with capacity utilizations. When you are operating at a higher capacity, you are in a position to enjoy some cost savings. For example, you can purchase raw material in bulk. So then you can demand a discount price for raw material. So that's a part of economic of scales. It is applicable to this venture. Yes. So when you are having this economic of scales, you'll be able to reduce the cost. So if you are able to reduce the cost, then you can offer a car at a very competitive price. So that's an advantage, right? So, yes, series economic of scale reduction in unit cost as a result of increase in number of unit produced and or sold. So cost savings. It is applicable for the new venture of usually as the import cost of every import into car will reduce due to reduction in cost of paint applicable to each car with the increase in number of unit being imported. The paint, right? So when you are importing more cars, then you are in a position to get some price reduction for applicable paints, right? Right. So I hope everyone in the sessions has done the paper. So what do you feel? Is that difficult? I just want to know your comment. Is that difficult? I don't think it's a difficult paper. Your real exam paper will be more difficult than this. No one is there. Can someone let me know? I hope you have done the paper. Since you have done the paper, you are here, no? Was it difficult? Just message me to get an idea. Or was it an easy paper? No idea. Right. Then we'll move to next section 2. Section 2 is based on the freezing issue. So we'll see whether we can find the freezing last time. Can you see freezing? Yes. How many pages are there? It is 15 pages. Already this time freezing also use issue, no? Tomorrow we are going to discuss that one. How many pages that this time freezing is having? 14 pages. So it's a regular reductions, no? 1-page reductions. Compared with the last time. Right. It's a common freezing. Why it is called common freezing? This is applicable to all 4 subjects. Therefore, there are certain things which is not applicable to your subject. You pick the applicable point. And so you have to deal with the freezing and you have to do the analysis and you have to go for the exam. Then it will be very easy for you to answer the questions. Right? So now see, for example, here, the last time analysis I have done. Right. The number of analysis I have done. So how many analysis I have done? 63 analysis have been done. Right. So then what can expect is some of the things you have predicted may come in the exam. Right. So then it's much easier. Right. I'm not going to talk on much that one. Tomorrow we can discuss this pre-scene, this time pre-scene. Right. Right. Now you should have gone through this one. Right. Otherwise, unseen part can't be addressed without having the pre-scene knowledge. So you should have a good idea about this pre-scene information. How many times you have to read the pre-scene at least? How many times? At least 5 times, guys. You have to read the pre-scene at least 5 times. So detailed analysis should be done. Have you worked with this December 2022 pre-scene already? Have you worked? Anyone? No one is replying, no? Right. Have you worked with this new pre-scene? Good Kalpa. Right. So do this type of analysis, see, at least 63. You have to spend a lot of time, no? Do those analyses. Right. So we'll go to unseen part. Sorry, pre-seen part. Sorry, unseen part. That was based on the pre-seen given. So there are 5 requirements. First part is, so you have to analyze the Porter's generic strategies. So what is the strategy applied by these particular organizations? Second one, outline the stages of the new product development process. That could be adapted by CAPL when introducing their new Ayurvedic soap. C, CAPL has shown that they could operate successfully in the competitive global market. Apply the diamond concept to assess the international competitiveness of Ayurvedic Sri Lankan industry, assuming that you are planning to export Ayurvedic product to Bangladesh. So it tests your knowledge on diamond model. Then the D, advise how an ERP could contribute to improve the business performance of CAPL. E, explain the 4 elements of quality cost and how CAPL could minimize these quality costs by improving its quality management system. That for your knowledge is being tested on quality costs. Right. If you look at about this free scene, July 1, this was related with the Ceylon Ayurveda Private Limited. So what is their business? They manufacture and sell healthcare products, Ayurvedic pharmaceutical, herbal beauty products, oils and beverages. CAPL head office is located in Kandy. It owns many agriculture plot of land in Kandy and Padukka to cultivate herbs. Their main factory in Kandy, no? Second factory in Padukka. Right? So even they export product to the overseas market. Now the company is more research-oriented company. Here the chairman and MD is Saman Herath. Board include Saman's son, daughter, also. Right. So like that, some information has been given. Then governance information have been given. So how many employees they have? They have nearly 500 staffs. Then company also source staff for packaging purpose from 2 manpower agencies. So recently what has happened is, so manpower company has some concern. These employees have complained that they have not paid their statutory payment like EPF, ETF. So normally this company is having a high turnover rate for field workers. So they are facing some quality related issues. And they try to get some ISO certifications on quality. Then there are 100 employees in executive capacity. Right. So then you can see what are the products offered to different industries like healthcare, pharmaceutical, herbal beauty product, essential oil, beverages. Then product-wise revenue contributions, capital expenditure, IT, accounting and finance. Here they have mentioned about the ERP system. Ethics and health and safety also mentions. Then financial information. So it's very simple, no? Now you can see some information about their directors also, board of directors. Then industry overview also being given. That may be helpful for doing analysis like pipe hoses. So challenges faced by the industry is being given. Right. Now, if you look at about the unseen information, so what are the additional information they have given? So in addition to the information provided in the pre-scene in connection to Ceylon already Private Limited, you are provided with the following additional information. So you are provided the following additional information. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has devalued the rupee, taking one of several steps analysis state are needed. Are needed to secure the IMF loan program that would boost currency reserve and help negotiate debt restructuring. For an example, on 23rd August 2022, the import of over 300 items has been temporarily suspended. So known facts, no. However, as of now, the rupee has depreciated against USD, creating both positive and negative impact on CAPL operation as the company play both import and export role. So if you are a exporter, that is advantage, no? Rupee depreciations, your product become more competitive in the world market. But importer, problem, your cost will be increased. Then it say the following changes then occur in relation to management team of CAPL. Someone tested positive for COVID-19 at the beginning of May 2022. So who is someone? The MD, no, chairman, right? After his recovery, he called for a board meeting to express his willingness to step down from the board due to his advanced age. One took over the company in mid-May 2020. One may be the son, no? Yes, his son. One took over the company in mid-May 2022 with the intention of taking it to the next level. He want to develop the company, no? Dr. Sankar Veerasuri is due retire from CAPL in August 2022 upon reaching 60 years of age. Therefore, Dr. Arjuna Aladenia was recruited as the head of research and development to replace his questions. Dr. Arjuna is supposed to work in parallel with Dr. Sankar for a period of 1 month until his retirement in order to facilitate a smooth transition of duties. Pavitra Kotle was recruited as the quality assurance manager in mid-June 2022 to enhance the quality assurance programs at CAPL. She has more than 15 years of industry experience and is family friend of the Herath family. This new guy has joined now as quality assurance manager, Pavitra Kotle. Right. At the recently concluded management meeting, the following important strategic concerns were discussed: how to effectively manage the importation of plant material required by the company, as authority have imposed restriction on import and have strict surveillance on the opening of letter of credit. That is one of the problems. LC, you can't open LCs these days. No, still you can't open this. This has slowed down the production due to delays in the supply of plant material needed for the production process. It has also been suggested that the forex risk due to the rupee devaluation need to be mitigated. Forex risks. What are the forex risks, guys? This is out of our scope. Transaction risk, translation risk. Other one is what is the third one? Can someone let me know? There are 3 forex risks, no? Transactions, translations. What is the other one? Economic, no? Economic risks. So forex risks due to rupee devaluation need to be mitigated. To develop new mechanism to identify plant and plant using commercialized herbal cosmetic product in Sri Lanka, especially under categories of skin care, hair care, and oral care. One point out that the supply of herbal cosmetic products from Sri Lanka is still very limited. There are ample opportunities for CAPL to expand its herbal cosmetic product through Sri Lanka's unique diversity of medicinal flora and rich base of traditional knowledge. to give priority to Ayurvedic pharmaceutical and essential oil, Hansini has suggested to apply the Porter general strategy in all time studies for CAPL goal. Dr. Arjun emphasized that new product development is particularly important for CAPL, whose commercial success depend heavily on the ability to bring a succession of innovative product to the market. They have decided to introduce new Ayurvedic soap to the market. That's why he's testing the new product development process stages. No. Then Ruan stressed the importance of purchasing a new ERP software to automate all operations. ERP also be tested. No? He further agreed with the CFO on implementing robotic process automation. He further agreed with the CFO on implementing robotic process automation and business intelligence in the company. The IT manager demonstrated the importance of cloud and mobile technology in relation to assessing greater level of processing power. The IT manager demonstrated the importance of cloud and mobile technology in relation to assessing greater level of processing power. Pavitra outlined the adoption of the Six Sigma approach to eliminate defects from production and enable operation to near perfections. He also highlighted the importance of having a proper quality control assurance program. That's why quality costs have been tested. No? To test that one, he's developing us para. Right. If you look at about the strategy for us one, what is the strategy actually? We'll see. Are the emphasis on the quality? We'll see whether we can find some information on that. If you look at about this, see, High Court is standard. So even they have implemented TQM system, they are more working on quality, no? Do you agree? So they are more working with the quality. Yes, quality. So quality mean what is the strategy they apply? Is it cost leadership or differentiations? It should be differentiation, no? Yes, differentiation. We'll see what they say. Analyze the staffs. Right. See. So first of all, then explain the theory part. Then he analyze each strategy. Easy cost leadership, no concrete evidence. Differentiations, what he say? As for the information provided, there is a high possibility to use the differentiation strategy by CPL. Quality is main concern in our product industry, and it is important to offer high quality product which are having high to diseases. At the same time, you want to do a good brand image in the market. So differentiation is the strategy. Suggestion, not focus. So they are in a broad market, not in a selected marketplace. So any questions from that? You can raise any questions. You can interrupt and raise any questions. Then second one, outline the stages of new product development process that could be adopted by CPL when introducing their new RB. So that is theory actually. So what are the stage? What is the starting point? Idea generation, no? Idea generations. Then that means you have to get the ideas from different sources, no? Right? Then what is the next one? Idea screening, no? Idea screening. So you evaluate the ideas and identify the best one. Then concept development and testing. So you develop the concept in more details and concept. There is no physical production here. So concept is tested on a small group of prospective customers. No? Accordingly, you do the changes. Then business analysis, that is financial analysis. You look at about the revenue, cost, break-even point. This financial analysis where the present value cash flows is considered. Then beta testing and market testing. So the beta testing. Right, you produce some physical prototypes and ask some of the customers to use your products. Based on that, you evaluate the success of the products, and according to customers' feedback, you make changes. Market testing mean after the beta testing, if product is successful, then you would go to the market testing. So you select a selected marketplace and launch the product in there. For example, select city and introduce the products. Then that stage is successful, then you can go to technical implementations. No. So on technical implementation, what is happening? So you plan and establish the arrangement for production, logistic arrangement for distribution of the products. Then, so now you have all the arrangement, machinery, all things are there. Then finally you launch the product in the market. Normally it should be backing up with advertising. Since customers do not know about this new product, to give an idea. The post-launch review. So after the launch, we check whether product is successful or not. If require, some adjustment will be done. For example, changes to the prices. It is theory actually. Now, diamond theory. So applying the diamond theory, part C, right? Concept to assess the international competitiveness of Ayurvedic Sri Lankan industry, assuming that you are planning to export Ayurvedic product to Bangladesh. So you want to apply diamond concept to assess the international competitiveness of Ayurvedic Sri Lankan industry. So what is the market you want to go? Bangladesh, no? Right. So diamond model, 10 marks. So diamond model. So what are the factors normally evaluate diamond model? There are 4 factors that determine the country advantage, competitive advantage, factor conditions, that mean availability of production factors, human resources, knowledge, capital infrastructure. For example, if you look at about the case given here, this so in Sri Lanka, we can find required human resources who have the required knowledge. So in Sri Lanka, many people have some good idea of Ayurvedic plant, especially the people who are in the villages, they know that. So therefore, very easy to find the required resources. Then there are some research facilities available here. Knowledge of the people is very high. There are some universities that create Ayurvedic graduates. Right. So most of the required factors are available in Sri Lanka. Then demand conditions within Sri Lanka, is there any demand? So if there any home country demand, so that will help you to get some specialist knowledge in there. So that will be an advantage in the world market. So if you look at about Sri Lanka, traditionally we have been using these Ayurvedic products, right? So that's an advantage, right? Only concern about this the growth in Sri Lankan market with this current crisis is very difficult to judge any growth for Sri Lanka. That's a disadvantage. What about related and successful supporting industries? Yes, there are some related and supporting industries. For example, we can find this medicine supplies very easily. Some of the plant supplies very easily in Sri Lanka. Even at village level, there are some people who search even jungles and find out the required medicines. Then firm strategy, structure, and rivalry. So normally there's a some sort of a competitions. If you go to Sri Lankan market, there are some Ayurvedic manufacturers that help us to get some advantage in the world context. Then part D, part D. Advise how an ERP would contribute to improve the business performance of CAPL. These theory, guys, even though this seem to be like a applications questions, I will show you. This is theory. Right. So in this last topic, you are discussing about this ERP, From that, exam has extract the answer. There are some sentences regarding the ERP. Am I correct, guys? ERP was covered? No, there was one para on ERP. Yes. See this 2.5 ERP. Now here the question is advice how an enterprise resource planning could contribute to improve the business performance of CAPL. How ERP can help to improve the business performance. So now if you look at about the theory part, now what it say? There are a few things mentioned. See, integrate all the facilities in the organization, connect all the department together through the ERP. Then helping customer to control their inventory, purchasing, manufacturing, finance, and personal operations. They allow an organization to automate and integrate most of its business processes. Share common data and practices of the whole enterprise. Produce and assess information real-time environment. Incorporate transaction with organized suppliers. Help to manage geographically dispersed and complex operations. Some example on that one has been given. So help to improve the working of the link between every the value chain. So there are certain points now. We'll see what he's telling here. See, extract from the theory part. Induction on that one. Right? So if you look at about the first para given here, indicate all has used by the organization. This is theory part. This is extract from the theory, study facts. Some extract from the study facts. Then he scope of the applications. Right? So now see application at present CAPL currently use an outdated version of BACFAC. Several applications are used which are not integrated, and there are large number of manual generators. ERP will help to integrate all functions together. Advantage integration gain advantage. So you show the problem they have, then how ERP sort out that matter. ERP helpful to integrate those activities. Then ERP may encode transaction with an organization suppliers. Next advantage. See, so they have more than 400 suppliers, so they can help them, and they can do transaction with these suppliers. Next advantage, they help large national multinational companies. Right? For example, they can manage the 400 local suppliers. Understand, manage the demand. Then again, see this theory part. Some sort of theory part. Extract from the theory and connect with the given scenario. So that's the work done here. Right? So now these points extracted and present in a logical manner. Right, any questions? Then last part. Explain the 4 elements of quality cost and how CAPL could minimize these quality costs by improving its quality management systems. What are the 4 quality costs? Preventions, appraisal, no? Otherwise, inspection and testing cost, no? Second one, internal failure costs, external failure costs, no? Now, how they can improve, for example, Six Sigma approach, how they try to improve India, how many defects for 1 million? Less than, what is the Six Sigma status? Can someone help me on that? 60% is just 4.3, if I'm not mistaken. Less than 4.3 defects for 1 million you need to produce. So you can appoint this Six Sigma team and they can work on these quality issues and try to minimize the quality problems, no? Right? You see what type of answer given by the examiner. Just give the theory part of this 4 quality cost, an example. So preventions, training employees, example in inspection, material inspection costs, supply inspection costs, internal failure, cost of reworking, re-inspection cost, lower selling prices for sub-quality goods. In external failure, cost of recalling and correcting products, cost of lost goodwill. This is theory. Now, how to minimize quality costs? Since inspection costs, cost of correcting errors do not add value, they should be avoided entirely. The aim should be to achieve 0 defects in production. Minimize these quality. These are Ayurvedic products, no? So you can't take any chances, no? Therefore, it's better for you to have 0 defects in the production process. So in addition to that one, you can mention about the Six Sigma also, because in the given scenario, X7 is talking about Six Sigma also, no? You can mention that organization can appoint Six Sigma team and they can work on quality improvement. Right. So any questions from your ends? Hope you understood what I have delivered. Aruna, how CA share the material with them?
Yes, sir, we will share that. We will share.
I will share, no? Okay. Right. Any question from your end? All right. So I hope you got the things what I have delivered. And if you have any questions, I think tomorrow also you can present when we are discussing the new policy. Then thank you very much for attending the sessions and wish you all the best for the exams. And good night.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Aruna.